Good evening, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. It is Sunday, July 30th, I believe, 2023. Good to see everybody. What is up? What is up? Yeah, hi. There we are. Cool, cool, cool. Hello, chat. Lurking Joe and DFR and Telspire and Whiskey Jack and oh, look at all the Heyas. Heya, Good Cat and Whiskey Jack and Telspire and Zeojar and Lurking Joe and Rick Chickens. Great to see you guys. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Let's go ahead and get... Oh, what's up, Kyle? Let's go ahead and get this underway. We have a Deathless attempt at Elden Ring. Currently a little bit past Radon. We had a session on Friday, a surprise session, and we actually managed to get a faith build out of setup. So hopefully tonight will be okay. We'll have fun. Hopefully we'll be moderately successful. Let's get to work, shall we? So, I'm just going to continue from the spot we left off. This build, like I said, is faith-based. We currently have the Black Blade, and we've got a Sacred Seal, a Godslayer's Sacred Seal. And then for talismans, I'm currently still rocking the Gold Bug. The Two Fingers Heirloom to increase faith, and the Ritual Sword Talisman, which increases our total damage when we are at full health. The hat I'm wearing gives +1 faith as well. So we're currently rocking 38 faith, not bad. All told. I also have Godric's Great Rune, so that's kind of where we're at. I think my next order of business after this is to go ahead and try to get... Hey, S2. Is to try and get through the area that we failed at last time we were this far along, which is down the Shifra area. But if I'm going to do that, then I'd like to go to Caria Manor, defeat Loretta, and then you have faith in this run? Hey, I get it. So we're going to try and defeat Loretta, get Ronnie's quest, and then continue from there. So let's get moving. We're still using the +5 Fanged Imp Ashes as our Spirit Ash. Stuff in this area is trying to hit me as best they can, but... just sprinting and dodging is good enough. That pink beam would stun us if it connected, but... Alright. Another area of sprinting coming up. So with Loretta, I think just throwing fireballs should be good enough. I have the Black Flame incantation, which throws a nice fireball that does good damage. And % health. Loretta is someone's spinster aunt's name. Yeah, that's true. The only Loretta that I ever met was already, is anything in the game as dangerous for you as gravity? Well, certain bosses are for sure, DFR, but I think gravity is still going to be responsible for the majority of my deaths ever. Just in history. Yeah. The only person that I ever knew that was named Loretta was actually like 80 years old when I was like 5. So, there you go. Hello. Sorry. That was completely unnecessary. That guy was no threat. Sometimes you just do these things. You, on the other hand, I don't like when you chase me around. The black knife is also really nice. It does % health damage. Hi. How did that miss? Oh, the black knife is spicy damage. Holy shit. Woo! Goodbye. Do I consider the prep stage of the run complete? As soon as I upgrade my imp ashes and my flasks to 12. So we finished the prep stage of this run. Shortly before I collected the bug hat, the bug talisman. I know, I keep calling it the bug hat. The bug hat is actually a different item entirely. But the bug talisman, this one, so when I start attacking bosses, that's when prep is done, or setup. What I call setup anyway. So we've been out of setup for a little bit now. Defeated the Clean Out Knights. Killed Grail for the runes. Killed Margit, Godric, and Radon. Are you gonna look stylish or just a murder hobo? So I am gonna collect an item from or some clothes from a guy that is gonna make me look the way that I want, but for the most part, we're fine on clothes now. I don't need super heavy armor. What I need is to. Rude. What I need is to. Oh, I should be riding my horse. What I need is to maintain light roll. Now, like, maintain light roll with as nice an armor, or as protective an armor as possible, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna try to avoid that. Light rolling is gonna keep me safe more often than it isn't.
Wilt thou? I am the wit that I might well. I soured, but I require. I anticipate. God, thou it left to go that. Like thee, heed not. I'm sure.
All right. So in order to progress Ronnie's quest along, I need to go ahead and talk to her subordinates. Say hello to them. So we have hit as good a faith as I need for the moment. My next objective is, I think, is gonna be to get myself a bunch of endurance and then a bunch of mind. And I might actually go for the mind first, because right now my incantations and my Ash of War are costing me quite a bit to throw. So maybe increasing my mind by like 10. And then endurance up a little bit more as well.
I don't know what since I asked. Common pain should if it were but who.
And then we'll see from there. By that point, I should also have a level 9 dagger. So my weapon will be a +9 dagger. For the Sacred Seal, I do need to visit a couple of spots. Right now, it's a level 10 Sacred Seal, but that's 10 out of 25 because it's a regular smithing stones. It's not somber. So
and it will be this doll still.
there are a couple spots that I can reasonably visit
and
to
it
get
will be, I have high look
those upgrades. Send this elevator down. All right. You see so many hours of this game and never played it? Well, that's fine. I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't continue to watch and enjoy, right? Like, as with every game that I play, I do my very best to like explain what I'm doing and what my thought processes are, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that I can. So, if there's anything that is confusing or anything that's like, what the heck did he just do, and I didn't explain it, please don't hesitate to ask. Let's make the viewing experience as good as possible for everybody. The first one you're seeing doing with a keyboard, yeah, I get that a lot. Very watchable game. Yeah, well, and everyone plays it differently, right? Like, there is a lot to be said for this game for just the sheer variety of things that you can do. So here we've got a couple of platforming sections that I need to be pretty on point for, so I'm just going to focus really quickly and hopefully not mess up any of these jumps. Good. Terrific. So that's one section. Let's look down, make sure that we're landing where we intend to land. Bypass these guys. Sorry, folks. Don't need that grace. However, I am going to pick up some materials so that I can upgrade a Ghost Ash of War, because we are going to be grabbing the Mimic tier. So if I want to upgrade the Mimic tier, I'm going to want... Well, I'll say what the plan is. The plan is to upgrade the Mimic tier to level 10 within the next, I don't know, like 15 minutes. We should be able, maybe 20 minutes. We should be able to get a level 10 Mimic tier before I have to fight against pretty much any more bosses. Pretty much. And that level 10 Mimic tier will be very, very, very helpful. It'll have all of my abilities, including incantations and weapons and stuff, and serve as a little bit better of a damage-dealing distraction than the Fanged Imps that I currently have out. Speaking of Mimic tiers, it's time to fight one of ours, so I'm going to go ahead and take off all my clothes, because, you know. And then we'll go activate the Mimic tier, who will mimic my weapons and skills. And then I'll go ahead and put my equipment back on. While it runs at me and tries to punch me. Not what I would call the hardest boss fight in the world, but look, if the game is going to be mean to me, I'm going to be mean right back. Let's keep rolling. So there's more platforming coming up in this area. Just got to be very precise with my jumps and movements and all that stuff. Have I seen any hitless runs? I've seen... I don't think I've seen a hitless run all the way through. But I have seen a lot of the hitless strategies, yeah. Those people are a lot better at the game than I am. Let's be very clear about that. A lot better. A little bit easier to be precise about movements when you're not on the horse, but if you have a straightaway like this, then Torrent will be very good for that. And I actually think Torrent is invaluable for the jump that I'm about to do, which is right here. There we go. Down, and down, down. Notice, like any smart driver, I am staying away from any cliffs that this car could potentially fall off of. If I can. Might as well stay on the inside of these ledges, because I'm paranoid. There we go. Very good. All right. Nice. That's one of the trickier sets of platforming that I need to do. Here I will continue to grab Glovewort upgrades for my... Ghost Glovewort upgrades for my Mimic tier that I am planning on equipping. And now we'll take a pit stop to defeat this boss really quickly. Mostly because he's here. And, you know, we kill stuff because they're there. Hello, sir. I'll throw fireballs at him or something. Oh, yeah, that does a lot of damage. Black Knife does tons of damage. Ow. And so does he. He's a big meanie. Okay, yeah, no. Alright, good. He's attacking my friends. Oops. Mana. He's out of webs. I am starting to save my runes for the moment because when I do upgrade my Mimic tier, I can't remember how much it costs to do. It does get a little bit expensive, so just having enough runes, and then we'll be fine. Summoner 10 for the big incarnate? Yeah, that's essentially what we're doing. I'm not gonna lie. Level 10 Mimic tier is a big asset in our favor, I would say. All right. Go back to the Ancestral Woods. Let's try and get that Mimic tier this time. This is, you know, not to belabor the point, but this is the last place where, the farthest that we've made it so far in this set of runs, which admittedly has been a short amount of them. This is as far as we made it. Because I jumped off a cliff. I'm hoping this guy will come walk off a cliff so that I won't have to worry about him shooting me while I'm in midair. But they may have patched that out. Oh, no, he did. All right, good. So I got the runes for that, you saw. So now it'll be a little bit easier for me to make these jumps because I can do it without worrying about him hitting me in midair. So let's just make sure we do a running jump. There we go. Cleared it easily. We are officially in PB territory. Let's go. That wet blade is not anything that I need necessarily. It's fine. All right, it costs 2 stone sword keys, I believe, or just one. 1 stone sword key. What a deal. Where's my mouse? Ah, okay. Black Knife does tremendous amounts of damage. I love it. Very, very happy with that. All right, so there's the Mimic tier ashes. That's now gonna be our new Ash of War moving forward. All right, one more jump to make. Jump. Hey, Jake Quillen, thanks for the lurk. Hope you enjoy. Hey! Hey, Aniryu. How are we doing tonight? Hope we're well. All right, so here I'm just gonna kind of move my way forward. I mean, if I really want, I can remove some of these guys from my way. They could be annoying if they chase me around. But it's not so big a deal. The Black Knife is nice for medium range. Like, it doesn't have much longer range than what I just showed. So here we're going to pick up the thing to advance Rani's quest and a Ghost Glovewort 10. So this Great Ghost Glovewort is going to be the final upgrade piece for our Mimic tier. We just need to get the remaining ones. And that is all I need to do in the Ancestral Woods for now. We will return here later because there is a Remembrance boss here and the path forward to another Remembrance boss. But we don't need to do those right now. Let's go back above ground and report to Rani on our success. Retrieving the item that she wanted. What just happened with my camera there?
not even in my. It is in thy my thanks. Soon must I.
This item is also necessary for us to
I
get
am so- I
to
must thank
Fortis
torrent.
X,
You may. It was but
another Remembrance boss.
I too.
Alright, so she says she's about to depart on a journey, and I will choose to believe her. Let's go get my clothes. The outfit that I'd like to wear, that I think looks cool, is a little bit up here, so you go and grab that. And it's actually a version of Preceptor Celubus's outfit. This is all remembrances, Yojar, yeah. Did we finish VG2 or just a break? No, we finished VG2. We finished VG2 a week ago, I believe. Last Sunday, I think, was our finale? Or Monday? Sunday, I think. So here's Celubus. So we'll grab his clothes. And if I go upstairs here, there is a memory stone, so I might as well grab that. Memory stone is going to be helpful later on when I have different incantations that I want to use all at the same time. Good. All right, let's go follow. I'll go follow Ronnie to where she went. Because again, I'd like to get my Mimic tier upgraded, and Glowy Skull. And as an added bonus, I'm gonna get a Somber Smithing Stone 7 that will allow me to continue upgrading my current weapon, my Black Knife. We already have the 8 and 9 in weight, and it's a level 6 at the moment, but the 7 has, we haven't found a 7 yet. There haven't been any. So I am going to go ahead and go and grab one. Along the way. This, as far as I know, is pretty much the easiest one available to me. The other ones would involve going through the Draconic Tree Sentinel or through a Godskin Apostle, and I'm not interested in doing either of those without my Mimic tier ready. Could change clothes here. Yeah, you can see they do give a little bit more defense, like in general, for Celubus's clothes. I am still in light load. I think that's thanks to the dagger that I'm using being pretty light. What I normally do is I alter the yeah, normally I'll alter the outfit a little bit so that it looks a little bit cooler, but I think we're fine like this. This is okay. Not a half bad look. So this is the guy that has the Somber 7. But hitting him is not so easy because he's sometimes a little bit of a shifty boy. Yeah, the Black Knife is my better bet for attacking him, isn't it? Alright. So here's a Grave Glovewort 6 and 7. We'll get the 8 while we're on our way. Do you guys like ants? This is how you get ants. The item I'm getting up ahead is a bunch of runes stacked on top of one another. This right here is 8 golden rune 10s, which is a lot. That's a lot of runes. I don't know why they did that, but I'm happy that it's along my path. Keep moving forward here. Again, this is an area where I really wish I could use my horse, but I can't. So we're just gonna have to run and dodge. Along the way, I'll grab a Ghost Glovewort 8. I'll point that one out as we pass it. Ow. There it is. Very rude opponents. Okay, I'm just trying to keep myself generally topped off just so that I don't get, like, chain killed. I would prefer not to play with this person, and we'll make our way down. And the missing Ghost Glovewort 9 is there. So that now we got almost all 9 of them. Actually, almost all 10 of them.
Oh, or is it me? I had mixed up now the form eliminate the name of Imon.
Alright, so I'm gonna go back to the round table hold here. Go ahead and slot in our Mimic tier instead. And if I would like to get, so I'll just show you guys. Of the upgrade materials that I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But I also have the bell bearing for 1, 2, and 3. So I can purchase my 1 and 2 here. Now, I've got all 10. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sell a bunch of runes to,
I didn't know what we're doing, just lay out
this guy. There we go. We're rich. And I will strengthen my Black Knife. It is now a level 9 Black Knife. It'll have a pretty strong Ash of War. Understatement of the year. And 1 through 10 on the Mimic tier. There we go. So the Mimic tier that I summon will cost health in order to summon. It costs 660 health. if I remember correctly. So I need to be, you know, quick about summoning it and then healing as soon as I do. Looks like I also have enough runes left over for maybe a level or two. I'll get endurance to 20, and then, yeah, there we go. So I think my next 10 levels, I'll go ahead and put into mind as we continue to move forward. I think for what I'd like to do next, I would like to get myself some upgrades for my Sacred Seal. My Sacred Seal is currently level 10. And as far as upgrade materials, I do have 2 Smithing Stone 4s, so I need 10 more Smithing Stone 4s. Or sorry, 8 more Smithing Stone 4s to get to level 12. And then I have enough Smithing Stone 5s to get to level 14. I would need 4 more to get to level 15. So you need 12 of each level to upgrade them, yeah, like 3 levels. So if I need a few more Smithing Stone 4s, the easiest place for me to get those would either be the cave here, the sealed passageway, or whatever it's called, or I can get them from the Ravine-Veiled Village. Either one is perfectly reasonable. I will go ahead and do the one in Caelid. No, I'll do the... Yeah, oh no, I'll do the one in Caelid. I think that one's... There's like one tiny piece of pathing that I'm pretty confident about, and then in general I'm okay. Pardon me, folks. So you guys might recognize this is the place where you get Moonveil from. Now, I may not even fight against the boss. I could. I mean, sure, we can take out some aggression on the boss. Hey, Dane, how are we doing tonight? The level 9 Black Knife is quite strong, doing in the vicinity of 1,000 damage a pop against all these opponents. With the Ash of War, I mean. And keeping us at a nice, safe distance away from them. Although I do need to be carefully. Hey, what's up, Whole Wheat? You've never seen this weapon? So the Black Knife is a dagger that you get from defeating a Black Knife in the Altus Plateau. It has a nice medium-ranged Ash of War that I am particularly a big fan of. Skills with Faith, primarily. Which pairs well with the build that we're currently running. Of course. Very nice. It's a nice medium-range Ash of War, and I might continue to use it all the way through. How many was that? 6. I need 4 more. If I need 4 more, I might need to go through the through this guy over here. There's an octopus over here. That is some extra spicy damage. I guess you might not have, Whole Wheat. It's a really interesting dagger. Very interesting weapon. I personally, I'm a pretty big fan of it. As a short-ranged thing. DFR, we don't care about the numbers. We really don't. You guys are here. Is that enough? I think that's enough. I mean, he's welcome to blow his horn, but he's the last one. You've never seen it? Hey, well, there you go. We got our I've seen something new. No, Joe Mama, I believe it does mostly physical damage. As a black knife weapon, I think it's primarily physical. Here, I can show you. I'm talking about the Ash of War, sorry. So, yes, the damage is physical and holy like this, but the Ash of War, as far as I know, is physical and percent health, which I really like. Now, I mean, there are enemies that have a lot of holy resistance later, so if the Ash of War is doing a lot less against them, then we'll certainly find out at that point, right? Welcome to the channel, Black King. You're asking, can you explain how tiers work? You've played this game but never used. When you say tiers, what do you mean? Sorry. There are like, there's a flask of Crimson Tears, a flask of Cerulean Tears, which is just the, you know, the red and blue flasks. The only other tiers that I can think of are ones that you load into your physic. So the Wondrous Physic, this thing, is an item that you get, and this might be where you got stuck with this. Right here, the Third Church of Marika, an item drops. There's not an. It's an item that's on the ground in the Church of Marika, the third one here. And it's called the Wondrous Physic. And once you acquire that item, you can, from this menu, from the Grace menu, you can mix your Wondrous Physic with whatever tiers you've collected. You can use up to 2 of them at a time. And you can change these around so that, you know, they can suit your build or your needs at the time. Right now I have one that gives more stamina, and I have one that raises my faith by 10. These, the duration on these each last for, I believe, I want to say, yeah, it does. Unfortunately, the game doesn't tell you how long they last for, but I can tell you they last for, I think, 3 minutes. So I hope that I answered the question you were asking, but if I didn't, you know, feel free to clarify. Let's see how the Mimic does against this guy. So as you can see, it does take health. summon it. It does look like he did resist a little bit more of that damage. But maybe not. Yes, and it recharges every time you rest at the site of grace, yes. Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. And the percent health is just so tremendous on the Black Knight. Very nice. Alright, cool. Well, we have Moonveil. I don't need it, but we have Moonveil. Alright, the next place I'd like to go, and you guys might might not like what I'm about to do. So there are a couple of incantation increasing talismans, and I'd like to get them. One of them is in a place that you might recognize if you accidentally got teleported from Limgrave. It teleports you into a crystal mine, or crystal tunnel, with a lot of angry white monsters. I call them the cum crickets. So if you ever hear me say cum crickets, just know that I'm talking about the Kindred of Rot, I believe is what their actual name is. One of them will pop out in a second here. I'll antagonize one or two opponents here. And you'll see a Kindred of Rot pop up there. So those guys do an attack called, and it's an incantation, it's called Pest Threads, and it hurts like crazy. You would remember if you got hit by it. So, obviously coming in here is a little bit, like, I have to be a little bit on my toes because there are 4 or 5 of them running around in various spots. However, there is also a talisman that I want in this area, so... And the good news is, my Ash of War is dealing... There's Pest Threads, see that? Oh my god. Sir. They're very shifty as well. It's very annoying to try and get them. And I don't even know where he is now. That's super annoying. Alright, I just slashed around like crazy and that seemed to work. I'm going to try finishing making my way through this area. There is an ambushing guy here. Get him. So the other reason that I chose this crystal cave is because I also am getting enough Smithing Stone 5s to continue to upgrade my Sacred Seal. So we should have, after this, when I go back to the Round Table Hold, I will have a level... Got him. Flipped him. Maybe not. Thank you. I will have a level 16 Sacred Seal, which is good. How am I doing on flasks, by the way? 4 blue? Okay. So I should still be able to get to the boss as well, if I'd like to do that. can let this ladder down. Just in case I decide I need to bail out. It would be nice not to have to run all the way around. Now, it's very nice that I can one-shot these Kindred of Rot, because... Or with the Ash of War, anyway. Because there are 2 of them right here, and normally they would be very difficult to... Like, if you antagonize one of them, then they both start attacking you, and it gets very ugly very quickly. However, this is the item that I came here for, alongside the smithing stones, of course. But this Faithful Canvas Talisman will increase the damage of my... the potency, the damage of my incantations. So that's any of the things that I use my Sacred Seal for, so Rot Breath, Black Flame, whatever else that I get, that will increase the damage of those. Alright, let's go ahead and defeat this boss as well. I believe I get some smithing stones for this, but I could be wrong about that. Is doing a decent amount of distraction here. I could also just start throwing fireballs. Yeah, that's some damage right there. And fireballs also do percent health. Very good. Yes, I was right. I got 5 Smithing Stone 7s out of the deal. And a Somber Stone Miner's Bell Bearing, which I don't know if the bell bearing means so much to me, but could be useful if I need... Well, I can already buy Smithing Stones from EG, can't I? Anyway, let me return to the Round Table Hold, and like I said, I have the Smithing Stones now to upgrade my Sacred Seal, so we're going to keep upgrading that. Our incantation damage is only going to be going up.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Nice. So I need 10 Smithing Stone 6s still in order to continue to upgrade my my stuff. Let's say we put a couple points in mind here. As I said, I was going to spend the next 10 levels into mind to increase my FP. Alright. What's another good destination for me? I could try and get those smithing stones now. Doing so would involve going to defeat 2 other Falling Star beasts. Since we just killed one, I might be able to take on the other 2. Perhaps we can go ahead and do that then. I can make a detour for a golden seed here. We'll fight against our first ulcerated tree spirit. But this isn't a boss, it's just an ulcerated tree spirit that happens to be housing a golden seed. They are particularly weak against fire damage, so our Black Flame should be very effective. Like it ate my mimic. like it ate my mimic again. Very good.
Hey,
Hey, Clint. How's it going? How's Elden Ring? Oh, we're having a great time tonight. You doing well? Everything good? You guys all have a good weekend? Joe Mama killing the channel points, showing the true power of waste. And I am here for it. All right, me and my mimic are gonna beat up this this guy. Hello. Where is he going? He's completely out of control. Look at him. Finish him. Hey-oh. So 5 smithing stone 6s as a reward there, plus some gravity stone random things. All right. DFR is asking, what's the HUD WASD pad feature? I can tell you the name of it if that's what you're asking me. It's not a thing of in Elden Ring. It's something that I put on my OBS. I guess we should be clear about that first. But it's something called input overlay. Yeah, I guess Khadgar is what Khadgar is saying is true. But yeah, I put that there so you guys can see what I'm doing. If it's helpful, I hope it is. All right, we're gonna go and fight against one more falling star beast. This guy's gonna be a little bit bigger, little bit of a bigger fella. Yeah, the only thing I did to it was alter the CSS so that it uses so that it has my stream's color so that it matches. Rosiak asks, do I plan on playing Baldur's Gate 3? Yeah, I plan on playing it. We will see if my computer can handle it. But it should be fun. My plan for Baldur's Gate 3, and I know I've said this before, but let's keep saying it for the folks that are new. My plan, because I know that people will want to, be playing it on their own and avoid spoilers and whatnot, I am going to be behind you guys. And the way that I can promise that I'm going to be behind you guys is because I'm going to be playing... so Larian usually has something called Honor Mode. I expect that they will have some sort of permadeath mode in Baldur's Gate 3. I will be playing that. And if they don't have one, then we'll make one up, where same rules as Honor Mode in like Original Sin 2, where if my party wipes, the game ends, my save file deletes, and then we start from the beginning. So I can promise that I will be behind, but I think it'd be fun if the first time I beat Baldur's Gate 3 is in a no save, no reload context. and then you guys can enjoy my struggle. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, goodness. All right, our next falling star beast is here. Okay. Between me and the Mimic, we should be okay. So that one's called a full-grown falling star beast. He is a real a-hole because he does a lot of damage. But, you know, so do I, right? Ooh, I better get out of the way. Okay, I guess I was still too far away from him, or too close to him. Oh my goodness, his reach is so crazy. But the Mimic is doing a great job of soaking up the attention. Couple shots to the head, and down he goes. Oh, look, the celebratory dragon's breath. Very good. And there's my remaining 5 smithing stone 6s, so now I can actually go back to the round table hold and continue to upgrade my incantation. This is great. Like, very nice that I at least remember some of the locations of these regular smithing stones. Normally, if I was, well, not normally, but if I was doing a build with like Moonveil, for example, I wouldn't need smithing stones. But because I do need them, it's very nice to have some locations that I know about where now I have a level 20 Sacred Seal. So only 5 more levels until it's fully upgraded. And that's nice. Now, of course, getting the remaining Smithing Stone 7s and 8s is a little bit less easy because they're not so readily available. And so that is fine. I am very, very happy with a level 20 Godslayer seal. Incant scaling is over 200 now, and that's, you know, not with like I don't have a tremendous amount of upgrades for it. So this is great. I'm pretty happy about that. We can now go ahead and move on to some other things. I said I was going to upgrade mine to up to 20, so let's do that. So we have a couple of good options now. I could stop for a moment to like maybe clear out some enemies of varying types. Some dragons that I think would be relatively straightforward to deal with. I could also go after Tibia Mariners so that I can get some incantations where I like hurl rocks at stuff. That would allow me to, against bigger enemies, do a decent amount of damage. There's also the Pest Threads incantation that I would probably want to go after at some point. And maybe Pest Threads would be a solid direction to go for. So I'll go to Inner Aeonia and we'll start doing Millicent's quest to the point where we can get Pest Threads. Because I like that incantation a lot. Physical damage against large opponents like dragons, it hits multiple times and does ridiculous amounts of damage. So let's go ahead and start that. That begins with fighting a very angry Commander O'Neill. took care of his ads. Now we'll take care of him. Okay, yeah, sir. Yeah, go focus on the mimic. Okay, yeah. Right. Sure. I have no problem spamming Ashes on board. Down he goes. So we get the gold needle that we need to now take to get fixed by Gowry. Now, Gowry is in a spot that is guarded by a very annoying giant, or troll, rather. I am going to go and knock out the troll so that getting to Gowry is a little bit easier. Because that guy can deal near fatal damage, even with the amount of vigor that I have. Running through Celia is kind of annoying as well to get to him. There's two different approaches to get to him. I prefer the straightforward one that doesn't involve running through a bunch of mages. But again, it is guarded by this guy who will throw these magic grenades at him, or at us. And so we'll go ahead and ambush him instead. Throw fireballs. Lots of fireballs. Right. Now, it'll be a lot easier for me to run through the path that he was guarding to get to Gowry. So I just teleported myself down here. Where I just was up there near that tree that I'm looking at right now in the center of my screen. That's where I just was, but now he's dead. He can't throw giant bombs at me while I'm trying to go through this path. Which is important.
I'd hoped to strap don't fresh. Should you I will teach. I need
So this guy needs me to
go on. Well, the work of it. Can you give me as well, mate? As well, mate.
So he needs me to give him time. So I'm just gonna teleport back. We're gonna ride back and forth between this spot a couple times here, just because we need to advance our conversation with him. Again, this is all in the name of getting one of the best spells against big bosses that you can have. That spell is gonna come in clutch against. I can think of like at least 5 or 6 bosses that I really want to have this against. Where some mobs permadeath like that troll and some respawn. Honestly, Wake of Luna, I'm not sure. Like, there are like sort of field boss situations that like guys that are like that are. He doesn't have like a boss health bar or anything, but he is kind of unique in that there is only one of him. And if you take out that one of him, then that's it. Alright, let's go ahead and... What is going on? Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and go to... So I'm playing in offline mode. I'm a little bit surprised that I'm getting the extra runes thing. Because usually that only happens when someone online, if you're playing in online mode and someone has defeated a shard bearer. Hi, Millicent.
My flesh, it is a curse to quell, but never mind. I would rather simply. Would you mind? Well,
All right, she's fine. Let's go ahead and rest.
my apology. Everything, even the night. Not that I could ever. I with the needle, my destiny. It's all thank. My name is Min. I with the needle, my destiny.
All right. Now Millicent is going to move, and we need to follow her to a certain point in her quest line. So I'm going to make this ride to Gowrie 2 more times. This is the first of 2. Again, I think the game doesn't necessarily expect you to do this all in one go the way that I am, but again, I want that incantation. And we actually, as part of our setup, we already collected the prosthetic arm for Millicent that she would have wanted when next we meet her. So we're gonna be able to advance her quest line all the way to the point where we want it to be. Her next landing spot is all the way up here at the Erdtree Grazing Hill. That is where you would next meet her. And this is where, like I said, she'll stay here until you hand her a prosthetic arm. You can see her right up there. Hello. So we'll go say what's up.
In truth, it's the Scarlet as such. Though rather than I realize I could have ate. Are you
There we go.
giving me? I think it might be possible. It might be perhaps that.
All right. Her next landing spot is over here near Windmill Village. Now that she's able to help fight, and actually she would be able to help in a spot before that as well. But here, she will actually aid you against the Godskin Apostle at the top of Windmill Village if you'd like for her to. So you'll be able to see her summoning sign. It should appear. Well, I might have walked past it. Regardless. Wait a minute. I throw black flames. Wait, I throw black flames, sir. Oh no, he's dodging. It's a little same versus same battle. Little MCU for you. Calm down there. Alrighty. So, he's dead. We get another Godskin ability, by the way. Scouring Black Flame is not bad as far as incantations go. You can go ahead and check it out. And remember that I am getting Black Flame incantations, Godskin incantations boosted by my Sacred Seal. So putting this in, not too shabby, right? Sweep the area before caster with Black Flame. I don't plan on using this tremendously often, but in a situation, I could see myself doing this in a situation where a bunch of small enemies have kind of crowded the area in front of me and I need to get them out of the way. So Millicent is here, and this is the part of the game where people are going to be maybe a little bit upset with me.
The army. It feels. Perhaps it is us. It is the. It is the.
So Millicent tripped and fell, and you guys all saw that she just tripped over, right? And fell down. So yeah. Now that she tripped over and fell in a horrific accident, Gowry is now going to have the incantation that I want. Now, Gowry will have this incantation whenever Millicent's quest ends, regardless of whether you end it at that point, anywhere after that, where Millicent's quest line ends, either in you successfully helping her or you killing her, or sorry, her tripping and falling in a horrific accident, Gowry will now have pest threads and an added bonus. Added bonus, the Flock's Canvas Talisman. This also increases the damage of our incantations. So we now have both the incantation damage increasing talismans, and they work in conjunction with one another. We also got the bell bearing, so let me go ahead and get another memory stone. Castle Morn would be... Yeah, this rampart would be fine to go get a memory stone from. Little regular physics right there. Turtle time. Tell you what, let's use Scouring Black Flame here because I can never remember where this turtle is. Alright, it was right there. Love the way that incantation looks, by the way. So we got 3 turtles, that opens the door. Was that a dog? Yes. Praise the dog. All right. Cool. I'm gonna go to the round table hold. So the bell bearing that we just picked up from Gowry. There are 2 parts of it. One is for sorceries and one is for incantations. So if I go to Bell Bearing Shop, now you can see sorceries and incantations. Now the incantation that he's selling is pest threads, and that's why we did what we did. So I now have pest threads quite early, and perhaps it would be nice to show what pest threads can do. Let's pick an enemy like this dragon. This is a big, strong, scary dragon over in the Dragon Barrow area. And let's go ahead and equip pest threads. So on the surface, and by the way, this is the this is what the cum crickets do. So we now have that ability. So if you've seen this used against you, well, you can have it yourself as well. And it launches a bunch of those attacks, and they all hit individually. Now, if they all hit individually on a big target like this, then all the better. But it doesn't end there. The projectiles continue. So if they continue through a target that is large, for example, it will connect multiple times as it passes through. So you'll see, when I do pest threads, you're going to hear the connection sound on this dragon multiple times, and you'll see the health bar react accordingly on our enemy. Let's go ahead and get to work. Dragon's being a little bit of a butt right now, I have to say. It's time to dodge. Fine, I'll just throw fireballs at him, whatever. Oh, hang on. Yeah, Black King, it didn't, so when it did connect, it was doing tons of damage. But you do need to be a little bit close, and the enemy's hitbox needs to be pretty large. I think a better example will be when we get up against Fire Giant. By the way, we got like a billion runes for that. Yeah, I think against Fire Giant, it's going to be a little bit more impactful. You'll see the second phase of Fire Giant take a lot from that. And like I said, it needs to be a large hitbox enemy in order for Pest Threads to be really effective. But I did want to just kind of show what that is, and I wanted to have it regardless. It is very strong. In the right situation, sorry, it's very strong. I need to specify. I figure since I'm in the area, I might as well delete a putrid avatar here. Hello. Ooh, that's a lot. Black Flame's pretty strong. The other thing I figure is since I'm still in this area, I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself a protective. I'm starting to think a little bit ahead right now, but there is an item that I would like to have when I face off against Fire Giant. A defensive item. So I got myself up to 20 mind like I thought I wanted. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is just pump my vigor all the way up to 60. Just to have a lot of health. I think having a lot of health is kind of the right move. So I'm going to do that. Thanks for the follow. My bot didn't seem to register who that was, but thanks for the follow. I appreciate it.
Power is power.
Demon Lord, thanks for the follow. There we go. In how many hours do you expect to face Fire Giant? Probably like 5 or 6. Things move pretty quickly when we need them to, DFR. Like, this run, in my estimation, should not take more than like 3 or 4 sessions if done properly. But again, I have to be prudent and careful and, you know, not die and stuff. I don't want that guy chasing me, so I'm gonna throw fireballs at him until he... Alright. So the protective item that I was talking about is against this boss pair. Twin Beastmans of Farah Missoula. And Demon Lord, this is regular. This is just NG. Have I made a build of blue incantations? You mean the... No, those are spells, I think. You're talking about the carrion ones? No, I have not done a carrion one. Hey, guys. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need you to leave me alone, sir. You're next. Very good. Now this is regular new game. We started as a wretch, and now we're here. Literally started from the bottom. Now we're here. So that item that I just picked up is a talisman that gives them the best amount of fire protection. So when I face off against Fire Giant or Placidusax, any of the enemies that deal heavy fire damage, this is going to be really nice to have as I continue to play more defensively. As you can see, my damage, especially with the percent health stuff that I'm rocking with Black Flame and with my dagger, we can knock down enemies pretty easily. I don't want to say pretty easily, but pretty consistently. At the place where we already are. What I'm gonna need a little bit more of as we move forward are some of these more defensive items, just to give myself different types of damage negation. In particular, fire, but also physical damage negation will be really nice as well when we start thinking about enemies like, I don't know, Malenia, Moog, you know, the big physical damage dealers, Godfrey. So let's think. What's a good place for me to go next? I think maybe trying to get inside Landell and dealing with Morgott are good places for me to go next. So let's do that. We'll kill the Draconic Tree Sentinel on our way. We fight Margit already. Yeah, Margit has fallen, but Morgott is still alive in Landell. Yeah, we have our 3 talisman slots that we can have right now. Part of the reason I'd like to go to Morgott is because Golden Godfrey is in the way, and Golden Godfrey will drop another talisman slot. That would put us at 4. 4 talismans would allow me to sub in either a defensive thing or, you know, any of the talismans that I'm currently holding in my inventory but haven't equipped yet because I don't have the space for it. Well, no, I have the space for it, but I am greeding because I'm still using the golden bug talisman for more runes. Especially as we're beating these bosses that are, you know, drop a lot of runes. I think having the golden bug thing is really solid for it. Hello, sir. He's attacking my mimic. I love it. Sir, I will keep doing it. Goodbye. And because we've already defeated Godric and Radon, we have 2 pieces. The two of the shards, so with 2 shards we can actually get in here. DFR, I would say that some of the weaknesses are longer range. And incantations can be a little bit tricky against some of the shiftier enemies. You've already seen that a little bit. Actually landing them can be a little bit tricky as well. So it's not just a point and click sort of situation. I still do have to know what my enemies are doing, and have like dodge timings and stuff, and then be ready with follow-ups. I don't know if I would say that those are like huge weaknesses necessarily. However, I think that the build is very, very powerful, and I've picked a very strong build on purpose, right? And obviously it is incapable of dealing magic damage, right? But what you do get, on the other hand, is the ability to deal pretty much any other type of element, and even physical, like strong physical damage, like pest threads and some of the beast incantations. Oh, bye, Melina.
My art for bringing here, and thus I shall
Hey,
farewell. I shall leave.
Hey,
I
Azeraphus.
You have. I have no.
Right, let's continue to move through here. Landell Capital is a little bit of a platforming... Well, it can be a little bit of a platforming nightmare, if we allow it to be. I'll just try my best to clear out any of the enemies that could be annoying bubble blowers. That percent health is just so nice, I have to say. Okay, that was a little overkill for that guy, but we were already in his face. I could have just thrown a knife at him, but that's okay. Let's try scouring black flame against these guys. For me. Let's go down the elevator. Is Elden Ring the game of the year? Well, yeah, when it came out last year, I would say. But it did actually win game of the year, did it not? Music is great and all, but also... Really? Did all but one... Alright. Oh. Hang on. Angry dog. This guy up here is not a boss avatar, but he does drop a Lord's Rune, so... I suppose it would make sense if I beat him up and took his runes. Nice. Zerfuse asks, what's my thoughts on Game of the Year this year so far? I think Tears of the Kingdom is not going to be beaten. I think Tears of the Kingdom is so freaking good that I can't think of anything that's going to stop it, is what I'm going to say. Baldur's Gate 3 I'm so excited about, but like... but come on. Come on. Next boss gamble? You want to gamble on Morgott of all things? I don't even know if that's deserving of a gamble. Sure, if you guys want to gamble, let's do it. We're coming up on... oh, actually, it's not Morgott. It's Golden Godfrey. All right, so let's just say, will I die before... You know what? I'll give you both bosses just so... so that there's a little bit of suspense about it. 2 minutes, start your engines. And to further complicate things, I am about to go and fight a Crucible Knight. I don't know if fight is the right word. I'm about to go throw fireballs and daggers at a Crucible Knight. On purpose, yeah. Well, this guy is blocking the way to a shortcut that I want. Ow. Okay, sir. That's rude. Yeah, that guy sucked. That's the only one I will fight willingly, I think. Alright, here's the shortcut that I wanted. Since I don't want to have to run back through the area that I ran back through, I'd rather do this. Joe Mama, that is true. He did actually get closer. But that's fine. Good for him. Hello, sir. Oh wow, I got his shield. What are the odds? Golden Great Shield's a nice shield. If I were using one. Yeah, faith and faith-based stuff is pretty good, Seraphuse. I personally, I find it to be a relatively comfortable feeling thing, but it also gives you a lot of options, which is very nice as well. I like having options. Sir. Here, that's how you aim. I got a second Golden Great Shield. Should I turn on online mode? Does anyone need a Golden Great Shield? Dual wield them? Nah, that's the move. Oh, right. Yeah, I got a Lord's Rune that I should go and sell. This gargoyle guy is kind of annoying to me to try and run past. Sometimes he'll yell at me and like knock me off a cliff or whatever, so I'm gonna actually fight him. Kill one of his friends? Oh, where is he aiming? Oh my god. Do not like fighting against those guys. I don't know what they're doing most of the time. Path here. Just to make sure it's comfortable. Don't want anyone inadvertently knocking me off a tree here. The fight with dual gargoyles? Isomor, we're gonna have to do that fight at a later point. But at least in that one, I'll have my mimic. Alright. Godfrey's down, we get our extra talisman slot. That's great. I'm gonna keep increasing my vigor. I have no reason to do anything else. For the moment. I'll stop maybe when we get to 60 and then maybe put some more into endurance or faith or something. Alright, let's go up to Morgoth. In the meantime, what can I put in here? Yeah, greatly increase the potency of incantations? Sure, I'm using incantations, let's do that. Other option that I could do at this point is to go to EG and get the talisman, and that's been available for a little bit now since we beat Radon. The talisman that reduces the cost of Ashes of War, the FP cost of Ashes of War. Since I am relying on this this Ash of War from the Black Knife quite a bit, that would be really nice to get. And I could use that as well. Speaking of Black Knives. Alright. Yeah. How does it feel, huh? What? Sir, or sorry, madam, I cannot see what you're doing at all. Please stop shifting around. So crazy. Blessing of the Erd Tree is an incantation that I believe heals you over time. I think that's what that is. Pretty neat. All right, let's go show Morgoth what's up. Oh look, Melina wants to help us. That's cute. No, Erd Tree Heal is the spell that you're thinking of, Zeraphus. Two different things. All right, Mr. Morgoth. Speaking of shifty folks. Focus on my friend, please. Thank you. That's a full rotting. Believers take the points. I'm using one of the two, yeah, Joe Mama. I put on one of them. I could have put the other one on, and then swapped the bug talisman on after the boss dies. I do need to get into that habit again, but yeah, that was pretty solid. All right, that's 3 Remembrance bosses, by the way.
Hello,
Godric,
old friend.
Radon, Morgoth now.
Moment. You are prevented the thorn. A husk, the only way, and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide you. Shall I let my hand share them with me?
We could take a detour to kill another Remembrance boss if we want. We could go do Renala as an option right now. There's so many different directions that can make sense to do. I think now is not a bad time to go after Renala. Go ahead and put a pause on the forward progress and go back for another Remembrance boss that we haven't done yet.
Power.
Dreamer, thanks for the follow. Welcome on in. Hello, hello.
Power.
And Bat, thanks for the follow as well. Alright. So I don't have a lot of interest in hanging around this area very long. So what I'm gonna do instead is just try and make my way. Okay. Sir. Not cool. Oh, that's a smithing stone for. I thought it was a rune. Never mind. Yeah, I'm just gonna make my way toward the boss as fast as I can. There's not a lot here in terms of items or anything else that I particularly need. And I will stay off the path of enemies that could hit me with like crossbows and stuff. In fact, we're gonna sneak up behind the enemies with crossbows. Hello. Matter of fact, that one was still attacking. That was weird. Oh, this is where the rune is. Right. Pardon me. Excuse me. Bat, normally I do challenge runs of some sort. My gameplay is normally challenge runs. Alright. There we go. But obviously you'll see first time playthroughs of things from time to time, or casual playthroughs if I'm feeling like it. But I found challenge running to be a fun way to you know, to go about things. Twitch recommended me for Baldur's Gate 3. Well, I will be doing a challenge run of Baldur's Gate 3 actually. My first playthrough for BG3 is going to be in honor mode. So I am going to just put on honor mode and fail until I don't fail. So if you are interested in watching someone play like that, then this is the place to be for it. And that'll allow you to also, you know, stay ahead of me so you don't get spoiled. What's up, PBJ? How are we doing today? You good? I'll most likely watch it. Hell yeah. We will be happy to have you. I'm just going to go ahead and ignore all these guys. Our next opponent here is a big angry dog. Very, very big angry dog. That's... can't see. Hungry Dog does not have much in the way of health, so... Well, also, getting smacked around by a +5 or a +9 Black Knife is... It's okay, I guess. Alright, let's move toward Renala. Oh, we also got a Memory Stone, and I do have an idea of what I want to occupy that spot. We can go get it after this. Yeah. If there was a speed strat in a speed stat in this game, that would be pretty interesting, honestly. To give our boy a little bit of our tarnished a little bit of juice when he's running. All right. Here come the Indiana Jones balls. Sure. This guy has killed me before, so let's try and be deliberate about getting rid of him before anything silly happens. All right, so we're going after Renala here, and I don't have a tremendous amount of concerns. I have how much vigor now? 59 vigor with Godric's Great Rune active. Fingers crossed that's gonna be enough to tank whatever. Even if we do get hit by some of her spells, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for her. But first we have to do phase 1. Let's do phase 2. She's a fire in her laser. That'll about do it.
My dear daughter, weave thy might into being.
4 Remembrance bosses down.
Where did he flee, my sweetings? Come out from whence ye hide.
Eventually I was gonna need to do this because after I beat Estelle, I'm gonna need to, well, actually, no, this would only have been to complete Ronnie's quest. So, but we needed to do it eventually because she's a Remembrance boss, so that's fine.
Where did he flee, my sweetings?
You know, I haven't gone and sold a bunch of runes. Could get Electo. I could. I honestly feel like the Black Knife is probably going to be good. How much faith do I have? At the moment, I have 38 with Godric's Great Rune and my Talisman, so 28, I guess. But I'm gonna get my Vigor up to 60, and then I can put more points into Faith and Endurance. But I have all these runes that would love to get spent. So there they go. So I mentioned earlier that I just picked up a memory slot and I thought I knew what I wanted to do with it. Let's go ahead and go and get that. So I'm going to go to the Grand Lift of Deathless. But instead of going toward the Grand Lift of Deathless, we're going to take a turn in a different direction. Oops. I'm going to head up toward toward the Eye of Sauron. I don't know a different way of putting it. It's literally the Eye of Sauron, and I'm gonna go beyond the Frenzy Flame Village, toward a couple of good things for me. One would be a golden seed, which I'll want a golden seed. The next, I mean, you tell me that's not the Eye of Sauron. However, we can disable it by climbing to the top and eliminating the cultists that are there. This is an incantation, isn't it? Howl of Shabriri does increase your damage, but it does also increase the damage that you take. So it is unlikely that I end up. I didn't mean to stab that guy. Okay, I also didn't mean to stab that guy, but I guess we're just in a stabbing fight. So we just disabled the Eye of Sauron, and now, now it can't hurt us anymore. Won't inflict any more madness or anything like that. So there's an NPC invasion coming up that I will go ahead and take. Because I am going for that golden seed. This is a talisman as well, isn't it? Oh, this talisman. So Shabriri's woe is kind of annoying as a talisman. It's very helpful if you're summoning. Like, I could put that on my Mimic tier, and then bosses would only ever attack the Mimic tier. But then I'd have to remember to unequip it off myself. It'd be pretty funny. It's an interesting strategic idea, but I think oftentimes I'm probably going to want to tank as well a little bit. Hey, buddy. Have some dagger. Oh, wow, I missed. Please have some dagger. Alright, thanks, bye. The War Spear is actually a faith weapon as well, I think. But it inflicts a status that is much more useful in PvP. So I got this Site of Grace. This is a grace that is going to be helpful for me later on when... Well, I may accept that quest soon to come and get the quest to go toward Moog's Palace. That would allow me to get a level 10 dagger. So could be an interesting one. And then here's the other reason why I came up this direction. Right there. That is an incantation that I want. If I can hit it. Okay, well, we'll come back for it, I guess. About my jump here. There we go. I hear a scarab around. I don't know what you are, actually. Let's find out what you are. Somber 2. Okay. Sort of figuring out the range on this thing. It's a pretty nice short range, well, short to medium range attack. Actually connects pretty nicely, I have to say. This is probably overkill for this boss. Glowing skull. Gotta have it.
Power is power.
Let's Vicanium, thanks for the follow. Let's try and get that that attack that incantation again. This just because the scarab went away doesn't mean it's lost forever. Maybe this time I'll throw a fireball at it from on top of my horse. That'll definitely show it. Damn it. It's dying. Got it. I'm getting chased by rats, so I can't teleport. So the incantation that I just got is a very nice ranged option for myself. It's going to allow me to snipe out opponents from a much farther range than what I have been up to this point. So if I were to go, let's head into the snowfield area just a little bit, just so I can. But while we're on our way, I can demonstrate what I mean by that. So this is the eye laser spell. Hey, take care, Dane. That has a very long reach. A lot longer than either my Black Flame, which travels in an arc, or my my Black Knife, which travels in a straight line, though has a much shorter range. What this incantation is going to give me is a much nicer long-ranged option against enemies that I may want to snipe out before running through their path. So take this guy up there, for example. Right? So just in case I didn't want to run toward him. Like, I don't want these guys chasing me around. not survived. Well, it almost survived. So while better players than I would very happily just sprint through this area and dodge, I'm just gonna calmly remove that risk entirely. Just clear the paths when I am feeling less confident. And of course, we still do have our short-range options available to us. Farming Misbegottens for the Iron Greatsword? Yeah, that's a really sick sword. His spirit. There was talk earlier. Someone was mentioning the. I think maybe it was the other day. Someone was mentioning a scarab, or sorry, a dung beetle that turns into a big dung beetle. There it is. Big jokes. It does drop a somber 6. Not too terrible. That was indeed a big pile of shit. That is accurately stated, DFR. We continue forward. One golden seed at the moment. We can get a few more. So I need 5 more to finish upgrading my flasks forever. Is it nighttime right now? I'm gonna make it daytime. There is a night cavalry, and I do not want to. I don't want to engage with the Knights Cavalry. In the concentrated space that we're about to be riding through, engaging with a guy that could potentially knock me off a cliff or otherwise harm me is not in my best interest. He would be right here, right where I'm riding through right now. And you can see the area gets narrow, and if I'm trying to just ride through, I'd prefer, like I said, to not have to deal with him. He doesn't give me anything that I'm interested in. Now I could fight against the gargoyle that pops out here. And you know what? I think I will. I think it's relatively safe. And if things look dicey, then we can He does get very General Grievous, though, doesn't he? I still don't really have an idea of how to manage that properly. Alright, well, that was... Again, still haven't really learned all of their moves, but... It's dead now. $60 vigor, not bad. I think now I will start putting some more points into Faith again, maybe until we get to like Faith 40. And then more points into Endurance again. Before I do this, I did want to stop and get a... There's a tier for my physic that I'd like to grab. So I'm gonna go ahead and try for that. This one increases fire damage, and since I am using Black Flame so much, I think increasing fire damage is not a bad idea. In fact, both the tiers that this guy drops are very nice. One increases stamina recovery, and then... Hello. The putrid avatars are particularly weak to fire, so it is interesting that he, of all people, is the one to actually drop this talisman, but... he does. And the other thing that I had just thought of doing was dropping by EG's to purchase that talisman that I was talking about, the one that reduces the cost of the FP cost of Ashes of War. Considering I'm using so many Ashes of War, well, one Ash of War so many times, I would say that's a decent one to have. Another thing I was sort of interested in doing was getting the anti-Moog tier. I have to start thinking about like some of these endgame bosses, right? And getting the anti-Moog tier would be really good for that fight. So if I want to get the anti-Moog tier, I believe that Eleonora will invade. And you'll only miss out on the Nagakiba if you continue up the Grand Lift of Rold. Yeah, Oklahoma. That's exactly what happens. I think you'd only miss out on the Nagakiba and the like Raptor the Mist Ash of War. If I were to do this, but maybe let's just do this guy's quest anyway. just in case I'm wrong about that. I don't want to inadvertently miss out on the tier that protects me from Nihil. Craig asks, who's the strongest boss for your build? You mean the one that's going to resist it the most? I think Melania is probably the best against it. I think Melania is still going to be the one that I'm going to be looking at very unhappily. However, I might pick up Blasphemous Blade for her. If I might just say instead of the Black Knife for Melania, instead I might go for Blasphemous Blade. Still haven't beaten Melania? Yeah, she's so tough. She's so tough. Like that, no one's gonna hold anything against anyone for not having beaten her. 4 waterfowl dances in a row, that's the thing, right? Like the only reason why I can do Melania at all is because I basically went in there knowing that I was going to die, but only practicing against waterfowl and learning a good enough dodge timing against waterfowl that would be okay. Look at him dodging. Look at him. Wow. Yo, this guy's... Oh my god. Sir? Okay, yeah, this guy sucks. Okay, yeah, no, we get it. What if I just swing at him wildly until he stops? Good grief. It looks like what's-his-face is already gone, because he would have interceded to help there. Yeah, he's not here. Okay, so in that case, I can then go to this church and hopefully Eleonora will invade. If she does, then we're okay. If she doesn't, then we're gonna need a different plan for Moog. You build a strength dex with the Moonlight Greatsword? That's nice. I mean, the Moonlight Greatsword's fantastic, though I'm not gonna nitpick super hard. All I'm gonna say is that intelligence is probably the stat to go for if you're running the Moonlight Greatsword. But I love that weapon. I do love that weapon. Alright, if I get off my horse right here... Yeah, okay. Alright, here comes an invasion. Tell you what, for this... I think we haven't done Rot Breath in a while. Hello. I'll do it again. Yo, everyone can dodge this thing now. Stab wildly. Fantastic. All right, so we did get the anti-Moog tier. We're fine. Everything's good. What else can I do in the meantime? Actually, let me look at my uptime. What could someone do exclam uptime really quickly for me? Anyone mind doing that very briefly? Thank you, Freighter. 2 hours 46 minutes. Okay. I could start thinking about heading toward Fire Giant. This is legit.
Power is power.
Thanks for the follow, Oklahoma. I appreciate it. Before I fight Fire Giant, I want to make sure that I upgrade my flasks all the way as much as I can. To that point, I need a golden seed, and I'm going to look for a volunteer.
Power is power.
Surfer, thanks for the follow as well.
Hey,
Appreciate it. Hey, nice. Using the channel points for the follow.
Someone who might be interested in rescuing the
Oh,
great
I'm ready to
Great
rescue
Light.
you now, sir.
Servant
I wasn't
to
ready
true
before.
order and celebrated reputation. My men, all their tree.
Right, that's another golden seed. All right, let's go up the Grand Lift and head toward Fire Giant. There will be 2 more golden seeds, and that is the amount that I need, I believe. Yeah, we're at 3 currently, so that would give us the 5 that we need to get the last upgrade. Well, yeah, that one, I don't know if you guys saw. He tripped and fell off that bridge. That was really weird. A lot of weird accidents happening tonight, I have to say. These NPCs just can't seem to have sure footing. Maybe it's just how attractive we are, right? We're very attractive folks, I would say, and just you and me, chat. We're very attractive, and people sort of stumble around when they see us. They're like, "Oh my god." Their hearts get all flutter, and then bad things happen. I don't know. It's a real shame, but it is how it is. The curse of being so hot. Pardon me. I'm very deliberately not looking at chat right now. I'm like laser focused on this path. I am not gonna like accidentally take a wrong turn and fall off a cliff, damn it. Sir, I did not appreciate you throwing magic daggers at me. Or rather, I'm the guy that throws magic daggers, aren't I? Sorry, yeah. Hey, Wheeler, how are you doing? Alright, let's go ahead and continue. Oh, this is a somber 8. Nice. So, I have a couple ideas of weapons to upgrade. I might upgrade Serpent Hunter before we fight against Rykard. I might not upgrade it all the way up to 10, but I'm also interested in upgrading the Blasphemous Blade if I'm going to use that against. So after we beat Rykard, I might grab the Blasphemous Blade so that I can use it against Melania. Like specifically with her in mind, really.
Power is power.
Hey Fanta, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. All right, let's continue going forward. There's a golden seed up ahead. Off to the right, and I will go ahead and turn in that direction. So we have a level 20 right now, a level 20 Sacred Seal. I could get it to like level 21 or 22, but I think I should be okay with what I've got until we get the final bell bearing from the Godskin duo. And then with that bell bearing, I would be able to purchase the remaining smithing stones that I need. Let's go with that for the moment. Now I have a couple options of directions that I can go from this fork right here. One thing I could do is move off to the side this direction and really quickly take out an Erdtree avatar, a big Erdtree avatar that will be worth in the vicinity of 100,000 runes. So that'll give us a couple levels of something, maybe Faith. I need to go in this direction anyway because if I'm doing all remembrances, then I need access to the snowfield, and if I need access to the snowfield, then I do need to go through Castle Sol. But making a pit stop to take out an Erdtree avatar is, I would say, never a bad idea if we have a build capable of doing it, which we do. Hey, hey, Cracks, how we doing? And lo, he comes down from the heavens just to die. Yeah, let's get up to 40 faith, and then I can put a few more points into endurance as well. I could fight this dragon. This dragon is kind of a pain in the ass, I have to say. His fire damage and attacks are very frustrating for me. It's not strictly necessary, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, super annoying dragon. I see you up there. Hello. I'll just eye laser him. I don't know. Like, why not just eye laser him? We got this spell for a reason, chat. Ow. Okay. Oh, what? That didn't even look like it hit. My spells are just not even connecting with this fool. The eye lasers are. That's good. So whenever he does this, you want to try moving to the left, though sometimes it will hit you anyway. From downtown. Okay, that didn't even connect. All right, well, that's the range of that. Not my favorite dragon. But it is no longer alive either. All hail the laser eyes. Glad I got it. Sonya, yeah, sort of. Sort of. I mean, all the stuff that I've been doing the last couple of weeks has been in the plans anyway. But we'll see. I gotta be honest with you guys. You might not see me playing BG3 on the first day. I might not be available. My parents are in town. I might not be doing a stream on day one, but I will be playing the game. I will be playing the game for sure. So you get a head start? Well, I'm going to be doing honor mode anyway, DFR. You guys will have a head start regardless. Because every time I wipe, I go back to the beginning. And you guys will continue moving forward, won't you? Normally I'd stop and fight Vike at this point, but I think I'm just gonna run past him. Druid, Ranger, Bard. Yeah, I think my initial thought is that I would probably, so considering just how powerful Rangers, like Archer characters have been in Original Sin 1 and Original Sin 2, my thought process is, what if I just do an Archer for starters in BG3? Some sort of Archer character. And see how that goes. Oh, of course, as you guys know, I love the mages. Any magic or you know, cleric style character, I'm very drawn toward as well. So, obviously, I'd be very interested in exploring something like that too. We'll just have to see what we get. Alright, we've got one fight before Fire Giant. Because I want that Sacred Tear, the guy with Rivers of Blood is guarding it. And can be Bit of a pain in the ass, but hopefully we'll be able to take him on. Any of these NPCs that like know how to dodge your Ashes of War and spells are pretty annoying. And we don't have something in this build. We don't have anything like Night Comet that that enemies wouldn't know to detect, right? The closest thing I have, I think, is the eye lasers. Well, I also have Rot Breath. So maybe I'll open with that and then run around. Hey, sir. Yeah, see that? You were asking about weaknesses of this build, DFR. And I would say that a primary weakness is how long a lot of the incantations take to wind up. But look at how dodgy he is. Alright. Good enough. Nice fingering, yeah. Nope. You're right. You're right, it was. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this Grace, and then, as I mentioned before I fight against Fire Giant, I want a couple of things ready. The first of those is I would very much like to have my flasks maxed out. That 5th golden seed that we just picked up will allow me to do that. And the sacred tear that we picked up after Okina was, I believe, the last upgrade for the flasks as well. So I think at this point, if we go to flasks and say add charges to flask, flask charge is already at maximum. Nice. And if I do this, the amount of FP, HP, or flasks replenished cannot be increased any further. We got max flasks now. We are ready for that aspect of it. Okay. So, if I am to fight against Fire Giant, here's what I'm going to want. I am going to want to now use the Flame Drake Talisman that I picked up earlier. Important here because I am very interested in... Oh, I was at medium load this whole time. Oh, wow, that's awkward. Oh, I guess after I put in Flox Canvas is heavy. Jeez. So, Flame Drake Talisman is going to give me a lot more protection against fire than what I was having before. And then I think I'll leave everything else as is. Though maybe I could also swap out this talisman for this one. And increase my incantations regardless of my current HP. That feels decent in terms of defense. Alright, let's go for it. gonna get off my horse here because if he does the ice thing, I find it easier to dodge while I'm on foot. Like so. So all these percent health attacks are going to be really nice against a guy with as much health as he has. Very good. Alright, let's go close in on him again. Stay close to him. That's why I like having that talisman on, because that doesn't do as much damage as it would have if I do happen to get hit by it. My Mimic is having a time. And I can't land any of my attacks to save my life. There's one. See what he's doing. Alright, we got him to set to phase 2. Phase 2 is... This is where I want to use Pest Threads against him. This is a very big enemy with a very big hitbox, and Pest Threads should hit him many times. That is the plan, anyway. Let's begin. Rot breath him and then run like hell. And I am seriously considering it. I have 3 flasks remaining. Soaking up all the damage here for us. Alright, my Mimic is dead, but Fire Giant is almost gone as well. Get up. Sheesh. That stressed me out at the end there. But we got him. Renaming me David? Yeah, you got it. Whew. Fire Giant down. We're not dead yet. Yeah, percent health, the percent health damage that we deal is just very, very, very nice. Allows me to focus a little bit more on dodging while the enemy continues to take damage anyway. I think so, DFR, yeah. Run would be hell without Mimic Tier? Yep. Good thing we don't have to imagine that world, right? I mean, other summons would work fine as well there, but Mimic is very, very good. All right, guys. I am gonna go ahead and call it for the evening. We have defeated Fire Giant. That is what, 5 Remembrance bosses down? Godric, Renala, Morgott, Radon, Fire Giant. Nice. I'm trying to count how many there are left for Remembrances. Who we still got? Rykard, Angry Deer, Fortisax, Placidusax, Millennium Moog, Estelle. And then for the main quests, Malekith, Godfrey, Elden Beast. So 10. 10 Remembrance bosses to go. So that'll be what to expect next. I'm gonna go ahead and clock out for the evening. We're 5 hours and 30 minutes into the run. Not so shabby. I don't feel like I've stalled too much. But I wanted to say thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. I am going to go ahead and get out of here and go to sleep so that I can get up early tomorrow and work, and then I will see you guys in the evening tomorrow night around 8 p.m. Pacific. We're going to pick up the run from the spot where I just left. So 5 down, 10 to go. We are in the middle of a very nice run, I think, at the moment. So hopefully we can keep up the momentum. And hopefully you guys will join me for it. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for following. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for chatting and hanging out. Thanks for subscribing and resubscribing and asking questions and making jokes and just being a general treat to stream for and hopefully be entertained. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow evening. Right here. Bye.